political.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah.
This one not they off in mind.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah.
My people make you shout.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mayegun the command of the masses.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mayegun diary political.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Nayebi number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀.
Hello there.
Mayegun diary, Nayebi number one.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Mayegun diary, Nayebi number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Mayegun diary, Nayebi number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Nayebi number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Yes, sir.
Mayegun diary, Nayebi number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Nayebi number one.
Mayegun diary political.
Mayegun diary.
Thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary, Nayebi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ ṣẹ́ o, kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary, Nayebi number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary.
Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun is back. Read the caption of the broadcast as well, and then you can make your contribution as well.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
I don't land.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
For everyone who watched my broadcast last time, presented in Yoruba, where I spoke about a lot of things, I have been receiving the feedback mostly from the people concerned. However, I want to assure everybody that somehow, for those who probably feel somehow about it and the rest, I can assure you that those concerned, they are fixing it. Others are reacting. So this afternoon, Oloye Sunday Igboho himself reached out to me. We had a lot of conversation. Some of them mostly very, very heartbreaking. However, there is always hope. In sometimes a situation that becomes so dicey, all we have to do is to remain constantly telling ourselves the truth. Truth. Very, very powerful word. And that's what we want to talk about tonight on the Sunday sermon. You can still share the broadcast.
Mayegun ti dé. Gómìnà kówó jẹ ní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
And good enough. From my own conversation, by the way, Oloye Sunday Igboho told me that Baba Akintoye and some other people, they are not happy. They are very, very unhappy. Because according to them, Mayegun abused them. And that is why I am going to implore everyone here, okay? When you are trying to share your truth, you would expect some reactions, expectedly. In fact, you are likely going to get rebuttals from the people concerned. However, none of us here should take any of this beyond its face value, except when I start releasing some certain things to the public. If we realize that no, it doesn't seem that they want to correct what do you call it, their error and the rest. So we'll speak on that. But for now, don't see it as you versus them. I know some of you are Mayegun's Diary political members of this Temple of Truth. Somehow, that truth hit you differently yesterday. Some of you are still trying to like walk around it. Well, why is this happening now? What is going on? And so many other things. Well, this is why you actually going to see this program tonight as a follow-up. I told Igboho himself, possibly he's going to be watching as well. I told him, I said, when I did my program, I said that as Yoruba will say, pete ni mo fe na ni popa, eni to ba ti taba, ko ma fi se binu, ko fi se kini o, ko lo tun be se ni o. That is, I'll say it the way it is, without having to listen to the normal, the normal sentiment when we choose, or should I say, when we choose to cherry pick what we want to see as a truth and what lie we want to bury. Politicians in Nigeria are known as liars. But here is a twist. Nigerians know that their politicians are liars, thieves, manipulators, in fact, murderers, because they can do anything for power, control, and then everything that comes with that power. Now, saying that and agreeing to that, right, you can say, oh, that's true. Some will tell you, well, there is a but. Simply because people can define their truth in their own way that suits them. And this is not limited to politics and politicians. It is also extended, indeed, to our everyday life. You know, I've done so many programs on this platform where I explain to you that Nigerians don't like a crime. I mean, they don't hate crime. They just don't like it if they are not the ones committing the crime or benefiting from the crime. They don't like it if they are the victims of that crime. In this case, we cherry pick. Who should we call evil or bad? Now, me, I not to go school. Are you with me? And I don't try to pretend to be somebody who knows it all in a way. But there's something about me. I am somebody who is never comfortable, right? With those who are, they call them insidious or something. People who are questionable. Because you see, once you associate with people, by association, right, you become what you are likely condemning. So in this process, as somebody like me, I realized that, you see, in this life, there are two forces in this life. Pay attention, two forces in this life. You have the force for good. You have the force for evil. Something the others will say, positive forces, negative forces. There are things that once you get closer to them, you can tell what kind of force is illuminating around them. Is it positive? Is it negative? Now, in that process, you'll be able to choose whatever you choose, by understanding that this world works in this direction of the good, the bad, and if you can identify them as such, then your choice from that moment defines you. Honesty is relative. There are times that people will say innocent lies. Then you have deliberate lies. But when it comes to truth, it is singular. It is same. One thing. everywhere, defined same way everywhere. But when you begin to cherry pick, let me show you something. If I show you this man on the screen, you do know him, Abi. Now you tell me if it is a truth or a lie. This man on your screen is a former minister of agriculture in Nigeria, and he is currently the president of the African Development Bank. Is that true or false? Of course, Akinwumi Adesina, the president of the African Development Bank right now, you know he's what do you call it? You know his title, you know what he does, right? No argument, true. You see, there's no coloration, there's no but. Sure, you get, you can tell and you can trace him. Now, if I show you this image on your screen right now, is this person an honest businessman or a criminal? The answer is a criminal. Or should I put it this way? If I present this person to you as a criminal, would you say it is true or it is false? This is where you can play, you can try to test the brain of human and how they cherry pick what they call truth or what they call lie. In this case, some will say it without blinking. He's a criminal, he's a fraudster, right? Is an awaiting to be convicted criminal. But you will see some people, they will tell you, no, don't just call him that. The typical Nigerians. And when you ask them, they will tell you, at least he didn't steal money, he didn't steal any public money. Go and face your politicians. How about the police? Leave him alone. Some will agree with you that he is collecting back the payment for all of the slave trade that our 4444 bearers were sold into slavery. That is their own truth. Now, we call that selective truth. Now, let's come back again. When we say politicians have done us bad, seriously, and with what the result of what they have done, the consequences of what the politicians have done and their policies, which you can pretend to say the system, everyone has felt, everyone has felt the touch. No one is spared. In a way, we can likely all agree, or maybe the larger percentage of us will agree that it's true. These politicians are this are that. Then, when I throw it into the fray again, I say, how about those who are using religion to manipulate you, condition you, program you to think that there are things that you can do, there are things that you can't do, and the things they said you can't do are actually things that could change your lives. But they said you should go and pray about it. It's manipulation. When you say, is that manipulation true or false? They will say it's relative. It's not completely false. Which somehow maybe, but majorly, when it comes to the bigger picture generally, the public and the way they embrace religion, how those who direct religion have managed to now hoodwink the people to believe that if something is wrong, if they are having any kind of crisis, be it economical or health, including insecurity, people are conditioned to believe that they could pray their way out of a problem and it will disappear. Now, that conditioning is societal conditioning using religion, even though there are other good sides, though, which I am trying to bring the public into the fray now. How they condition us, how they make us to be kind of selective. Now, in the process, because religion, sorry to some of you who are actually really, really religious, okay? and I don't want you to take it too personal in a way. Religion in its own way is just a blanket to cover your face in a way that you can say it is a veil over logical reasoning. Now, that is going to be offensive to somebody who has a very strong faith, whose faith he believes can move mountain. Now, to somebody like me, I would love to see the faith that move mountain, but they say, no, it's not by mountain. It's something else. That is religion. In the process, after when we realized that the connection between the religion, the politicians, the pastors, and the rest of them, and then the people, we decided to share the truth, which is you could separate your faith from the proper decision making when it comes to the public, because wherever you side, wherever you belong to, wrong or right, there will be consequences. How about you understand where and understand this clearly, not by trances and then prophecy and the rest. Things you can do physically without having to kind of give the job to somebody else to do for you. So truth. Once something is black, it is black. Once something is white, it should be white. There is no but. There is no but. No, there's no but. And that is what our sermon on Mayegun's Diary Political tonight is going to be on. They managed to manipulate us successfully because many of us have, one way or the other, boxed ourselves into a vulnerable position where all you see now is just people who want to tell you what you want to hear. Usually, people who should be possibly working as, I don't even know if they could probably do that, if they are qualified in any way. People that should, in any way, be working as maybe therapists, using the situation in Nigeria, right, to treat you psychologically without having to manipulate you. Politicians, why have the people been doing the same thing again and again, despite the failures that they themselves have acknowledged, they themselves have gone about many times, but they will still do it again and again. Why? Because politicians tell them what they want to hear. In this trade, pastors just tell you what you want to hear too. Imam, Babalawo, Mamalawo want to tell you what you want to hear too. All of this to manipulate you in your vulnerability. Now, you see, when you want to understand others, the first thing you must understand is yourselves. When we talk about freeing ourselves from the shackles of the Nigeria, what do you call it? Nigeria enslavement, which most of them are done by ourselves. So if you want to be free in any way, if we want to be free, it kind of starts from individual self, telling yourselves the truth without having to cherry pick. When you see what is wrong, say it is wrong. Don't give an excuse for it. Don't say because you have an interest in it. Don't say because you kind of have a little bit of affection for them. Don't try to associate with anything that is wrong, even if you have those doing them as your roommates. It's so important. And that's why we call self-aware. There is something called self-aware, and that is knowing yourself. I have told you, don't worry. Madam Kemi Omologu. You know, I said something yesterday. I said, ẹni tí wọ́n bá nà òun lára ń ta. What I have to share with the people, they are damaging. Let us be honest. Sure, you get. And that is why I am being careful the way I relay the message to all of you. Because sometimes you may have a good intention. Oh, my intention is to just let people know the truth, hold on to the truth, follow it, and let us go. Let this truth be our torchlight that will eventually lead us to a sovereign Yoruba nation. Truth only. No lies, no mago, no, you know what I mean? No cook up, no make-up conspiracy, no propaganda, all this, right? So, but I am sharing them with everybody. Not because I want to engage in face me, I slap you fight with anybody on social media, okay? And that's why I'm being careful, because some of those things I have to share with you, some of them, so many of you would prefer I don't say anything. In fact, some of you are already reaching out that let's just move on. Let's just, let's leave this. And I'm making people understand something. If you want to jump into a pool, it is always ideal, the right thing to do, to know the depth of that pool. For example, if you want to jump into a river, okay, there are two things you have to please have in mind, even if you are the best swimmer. Number one, the direction and the power of the current of that river. You must know that as a swimmer. Secondly, you must know the depth. How deep is that river? Even if you don't have the complete picture, you must have an idea. And that is why when you are dealing with people, truth sometimes, you know why they said truth died in the, outside the house of lies, treasury, and so many other things. You know why? Because if, as truth is that people know the truth, if truth is not well presented, it can become an offense. Some of you may feel offended just because of the way I say some things. I know that. And that is why I am not saying these things or sharing some of this information with you just to engage in face me, I slap you with anybody. They can abuse me. Don't worry. Let them say whatever they want to say. But I can tell you this. A lot of stuffs, a lot of moves that are already in place, they are very, very damaging. When I say damaging, they are not damaging to the cause of the Yoruba nation. And all of us, from today, remember, as a Yoruba man, who is politically conscious, who is also self-aware, listening to me right now, okay? It is appropriate, legitimate for you to now identify yourselves as Yoruba nationalists. Now, with this, we'll begin to identify those who actually have the idea, who understand the ideology behind a supposed generational movement that should have been more grounded than this. But because of the overzealous attitude of some chancers, opportunists, and the rest of them, who finally found this as a career, let me tell you something, okay? You don't make, number one, nobody is going to fight for our freedom for us. We are going to do that ourselves. We're going to share the responsibility. Everybody is going to get involved and make it a priority. You as a Yoruba nationalist, wherever you find yourself, it becomes your aims and objectives, your mission and your vision. What? To represent that ideology. Now, how do we educate the people about the ideology behind this? It's not by being charlatans. It's not by being miscreant on social media. Listen, we pride ourselves as intelligent, composed, educated, advanced people. Then we are not going to let some charlatans turn a noble cause into a mockery. So if you see them abusing me anywhere, okay, if you have time to watch them, watch them. but don't worry yourselves about me, okay? And that's what I wanted to talk about earlier, which is you have to tell yourselves the truth. By understanding yourself, self-aware, you must be self-aware, be self-conscious about things around you, so that one or some group of lunatics, they will not be the people who are now going to be kind of controlling your thoughts in a way that are completely un-Yoruba. And we can't keep quiet. That's the issue. We can't keep quiet, because in the process of identifying why are we where we are today as a people, we figure out that everything that happened to us has the hand of those who were supposed to fight for us as a people. And today, everything that is happening to us as a people in Yoruba land, the insecurity, the terrible economic situation, the unemployment, the poverty, and so many other things that we are battling with as a people, as part of Nigeria today, there are those who are supposed to be seen, to be ending them, but they are cashing on them. So I was saying that when people are not self-aware, if you don't know who you are, it will be easier for a lot of people, okay, to quickly manipulate you for whatever agenda they want to pursue, even without you. Well, what do I mean? What am I even saying? I said, if you are not self-aware. So because you are not self-aware, right? Every other thing that people can, some stupid things that people can say, they sometimes can just, when they say them confidently, I'm talking about foolish people with confidence, right? When they say things foolishly with confidence and you are there, and you are not really self-aware. There are many times on this platform that people will tell me, Mayegun, I swear to God, I never even know that that was happening. In fact, I didn't know that is a thing until I saw the video on your platform. So you need to be self-aware. When you are self-aware, right, then it will be difficult for ordinary people to manipulate you, to do their bidding, when indeed it is all going to be eventually against you. That's what politicians, that's what they do. They tell you what you want to hear. They know you. They are living with you. They are not ghosts. The people that stole the money that could have created a viable economy, jobs, they are living with you. They are spending the money. They are driving all those cars. They are living in those expensive houses. They are taking their families on those expensive holidays. They are there with you. So how are they able to control you this long? How did you become so scared? How did the larger percentage of our people become so scared to even push back or fight back or even speak out? It was because the people that are dealing with them are like them. Are you with me? The people that are doing this to you, they are like you. I'm a Yoruba man for 23 years now. The people in charge of Yoruba land, that is part of Nigeria, they have been 100% Yorubas. So if you talk about the poverty level in Yoruba land today, before you put it at the doorstep of Nigeria, you put it at the doorstep of those parading themselves as Yorubas, political representatives. You can't take it away from them. They are there. They made that happen. So when you are aware of that, that means you are very much alive and then conscious of the problem or the problems. And at the same time, you are also aware of the characters behind the problems. Now, look at how that works. You have seen it. Why is Nigeria Naira crashing? Why are the young people jobless? Why are the businesses, right, are no longer profitable? Why are the people becoming more poorer and poorer? All of this, when you now connect all the dots and you see the role everyone is playing, it will be difficult for anybody to now say, now your enemy be that, pointing fingers, and then you say, hey, oh yeah, follow them. Do you understand that? That's exactly the mob mentality that the politicians have been driving on. But unfortunately, that is also the template that many people have become submissive. Oh, there is nothing we can do. It's not going to happen again. There is no way we can get out of this. We are done for. Nigeria, that cannot, because mentally, Nigeria and the Yoruba political office holders, past and present, who contributed to this, they have broken many of our people psychologically. And that is why, it is so easy for truth to die before you even say something, say anything. Now, the people that are now the product of a ruined system, they are looking for solution. Guess those who are also going to lie to them. Close your eyes for prayer. Oh, I see darkness. Where did you see darkness? Where is the darkness, sir? There's this darkness, this huge one be ahead of you. You're having you're having financial problem. It's true, sir. My business has been struggling. It's been a year to even feed the family right now. That's why I came here, sir. I can see all of that. All your businesses, they are struggling. Say, yes, sir. Everything is says, now the people, the so people behind your situation. Now that is because you cannot think. You cannot sit down and just feel like, okay, how did I get to this stage? When did things started going bad? How did my company come by to sack me? How did you know what I mean? By the time you begin to, you just have to trace everything back to, not to devil, but to the negative, evil force that the political class in Nigeria represents. So once they are done with you, they push you to the abracadabra, oli. Salam, everything that shall get you more confused so that you can begin to chase shadows. And the more you are deeper in this, which many of us are already deeper into right now, the more you are deeper into it, the more truth will become selective to you. And that is why some people became offended last night. This is just going to be a follow-up to the conversation last night. Just so you know that the same way politicians can manipulate you because of what you care so much about. You care so much about good governance. You care so much about a good life. You care so much about, being able to live your life without any kind of a threat. Politicians know that they brought all of this upon you. So do you think they will not have an idea of how to tell you that they are going to take them away and you're going to believe them, even when you know that they're never going to take them away? Some of you will still believe them anyway. Some of you do believe them right now. So it is because you are mostly what do you call it? You are unaware of yourselves. So other people can quickly use that in your vulnerable states. They can then use that and begin to feed your mind with what you actually want to hear. When people say our people are suffering for goodness sake, we all agree, yes or no? Yes. Do we agree on the people who brought this suffering on them, and as well as their names and who they are? Yes, we agree. No argument. Of course, Mayegun, you are right. Then we kind of all agree as well that the damaging role that religion has played in the scheme of things is uncountable, put it that way. So we all agree. So which means somehow, we are all looking for something. And if a lot of people are looking for one thing, there is, and they are mostly on self-aware, so to say, right? They are prone to be vulnerable. And in that process, you are likely going to see the agent commercial or commercial agents who are going to feed that your art, who are going to feed that your fantasy, who are going to feed that your expectation, who are going to feel that your hope. They're going to fill all these spaces in your art with everything you wanted to hear. And in that process, you are going to become just the same thing you are running away from. Or you are going to be entrapped by by the same thing you are running away from. Manipulators who see you in your vulnerability and they want to take advantage of that by feeding you what you want to hear. And if the time comes, you are going to know, you will know that they are lying to you. They are feeding you with lies. Just same way, many of you are tired of the lies of the political class in Nigeria. You are not interested anymore. You are not going to entertain them anymore. Nothing they say makes sense to you anymore because you have psychologically detached yourself from them because you know they lie. I know so many of you who no longer believe in any kind of religious prophecy that, pastor this, imam that, babalawo this, mamalawo that. You no longer believe in them because after you became self-aware, you realize that no, they should be counselors. But most of your problems, you would have to deal with them yourselves. So they no longer make sense to you. When they say something, it doesn't make any sense to you. They can no longer manipulate your mind and tell and say things that you say, oh, because my pastor said it, or because that imam said it, or because somebody dreamed and told you. Because you just be like, listen. I don't believe in all of that. Mind you, I'm not ruling it out for those who do. Or please, when we are talking about something serious, something technical, something physical, please don't bring that in, please. Do you understand? You are self-aware because we are all looking for something. The Nigerians who are believing the lies of the politicians, who are ready to go and get their PVC to vote for them, they believe that they will give them the good life they are promising them. Some of you know they won't, so you don't believe them and you will never listen to them. Some people believe that that they don't have job, that they are not married, that they don't have children, and that they are facing insecurity and the rest of them. That somebody can no longer tell them to take anointing oil, to take to take this or that for whatever they are facing, because to them they no longer believe in those anymore. But because we are still all looking for something. For example, look at us who are in the diaspora. I'll tell you something tonight that should make you understand why many of us in the diaspora, why we fell for the lies of those who saw us in our vulnerability, and why truth is constant, and only truth can actually give us peace of mind, can give us the happiness, can bring about the hope that we all desire. But how did we all end up in the hands of these merchants who have turned a noble cause into a commercial business? And as they say, they are now in water. They are now in debt. They are now in the mud. So anybody that try anything with them will receive the water, the mud. But there is something that is constant, like I said, the truth. It was immediately after their 2019 charade elections that we realized that the Fulani terrorists who have been camping in different parts of our forest, especially in Yoruba land, they have received the renewal certificate to further unleash terror on us. So many of us have projects back in Yoruba land. So many of us who are living abroad, those who have housing projects, those who have farms, those who have, leisure homes like hotels, investment that they have taken back to Yoruba land to create jobs, to at least give back to that that land that we all came out from. So the news, it is that bad that majority of us who are so self-aware about what is going on in Nigeria, the characters and the actions of these characters who are also involved in all of this, yeah, we are so aware of them. Some of us quickly saw through that we wouldn't have been this so attacked as a people if those who were supposed to keep us safe, by all means, if they have been doing that exactly, but they haven't. But most people back in Nigeria, especially back in Yoruba land, majority of them are in the darkness of what is really going on. But thanks to social media anyway, they still get to know. However, you see all those things that for those who have already invested in Nigeria, for those who have already, I'm talking about Yorubas now who have already invested in Yoruba land, all these investments, they started coming under security threats and so many other threats apart from security. But the security capped it, where majority of them started abandoning some of these projects back in Nigeria. Those who couldn't really abandon theirs, they run at serious loss that they never want to repeat those. Now, all of these are happening. And to some of us, what exactly is the government doing? What exactly are the Yoruba, office holders doing in Yoruba land? We're concerned about those. Then, luckily for us, we realized that there are actually those who have been doing a lot in their own way to curb the level of the insecurity in Yoruba land. Who are these? This is when Oloye Sunday Igboho came into the picture. When he came into the picture, it was easier, it was straightforward, because he was already doing it, spending his money, paying people, mobilizing soldiers, what they call them, soldiers, police, and the rest of them with their guns into the forest, chasing after the terrorists and all that. There was no camera to actually always keep everything show off and the rest. It was like a meticulous job that was being done step by step until he now said, listen, with what we now know, they are not just ragtag rogues who are staying in skeletal places all over Yoruba land. These guys are armed. They have weapons. You see all those weapons you see them display on videos in northern Nigeria, that they have seen them move them in Yoruba land. They have seen thousands of motorcycles, right, migrating in the middle of the night. All this information, right, they now put credibility to those who actually went back to Yoruba land, who built houses, who built homes, who built businesses, those who built farms. We are talking about a multi-billion naira investment back in Yoruba land that could have added to the economic growth of Yoruba land. More than 60% of them, right, lost their investments. They are watching me. Some of them are watching me and saying, well, that's true. You know what I mean? So what should we do? So anybody, what is going on? What can we do? So when Oloye Sunday Igboho now said, hey, we need the support of you in diaspora, because it's going to get to a time you may not be able to come back to this country. You see those who return back to Nigeria, some of them started returning back to where they, imagine you have worked so hard in the cold, in the wind, in the all those terrible weather, and you put together your resources and you return back to your homeland to invest there and get people on, right? Now you would have to deal, because of insecurity, you would have to deal sometimes. May God not give us a terrible family, right? Starting from family, you are at the prone of one. If you don't get kidnapped by the organize your kidnapping by your family member, then you are now exposed, okay? Because of insecurity, you are now exposed to other things that are going to threaten that your investment. Some people were returning back. Many people who have I'm just going to work in America after I've been in America for 20 years. Now I'm not getting any younger. I'm going back to my hometown. Now, all these people are now having a second thought, which now sent to some of us a very terrible signal that the way Nigeria is going, It simply means that Nigeria want the rest. They want the best of Yoruba land to die outside Yoruba land without adding any real value to the land by scaring us away. Stay where you are. You are better off where you are. Don't bother coming back here. Leave us with this. God will save us here. Meanwhile, over time, we now realize that even staying away is not enough. It's not keeping us safe. Our family members, our loved ones, they are now in the prone of either being kidnapped or killed. And if it happens, it's just going to be your personal business. So how do we get in? Everyone who is interested in coming together and putting something together, are you with me? Anyone is going to receive our support, trust, truth. We should have been the currency. But unfortunately, what we were running away from politicians, from religious sects, the manipulation and the lies, we ended up running into it for those who they call them self-acclaimed, self-appointed, self-anointed savior of you and I. Now, if you can agree with the truth of the lies that you know with the politicians, if you can partially agree as well with the lies that manipulation used in the name of religion on the people, how dare you then trying to pretend when you notice those who are lying to you in the name of self-determination, in the name of freedom? How dare you pretend? How dare you become selective? That is the bone of contention. Are you with me? The bone of contention. One of the things that I quickly put together when somebody said, if we have to rekindle the mindset of our people, sure you get, and we have saved them, or should I say we have saved ourselves by knowing the truth about Nigeria. All right? To some extent too, because some of you don't really know Nigeria very well. And that is why we have to make sure that you do, because it is going to help your sense of judgment, your sense of thinking. It's going to help in a very, very great way. So like I said, don't worry. If you see any of them that jump there to abuse Mayegu and the rest, as long as they are not causing any kind of distraction for any of you, okay? If they become insulting in any way, if they become unruly, just call my attention, okay? I can get rid of them. Every one of them is going to be educated. Are you with me? So if we now know that if we want to fight lies, manipulations, propagandas, conspiracies, some said you have to fight lies with lies. You have to fight conspiracy with conspiracy, propaganda with propaganda, and on like that. But I choose to kind of fight them with the truth. You know, when something is a lie, all you have to do is to present the opposite, which is the truth. And then let the people be the judge. Because people will always buy lies more than they will buy truth. Because it is so painful to realize that sometimes what you are holding on to is a lie. So some people will want to hold on to it. But that won't make it the truth, though. Sure you get. It still won't make it the truth. Even if you manufacture your truth, it will still not make it the truth. Let me tell you some truth tonight, okay? And then I'll give you an idea what we think an ideal organization that indeed want to take the people through the journey of self-determination. I am a Yoruba nationalist, being a Yoruba man. And as a Yoruba nationalist, Omoluabi, Jagidi Jagan, Ipanle, as we call them, Agidi Ofu, Agidi Talaka, Eshinuwe agidi, what do you call it? Paper tiger. All of these are not attributes that you can, or let me say this, all of these are not any kind of attribute that you can attribute to any Yoruba or Moluabi theory. Now, I have told you, I am like a teacher, and I am not in any competition with anyone. If people abuse me, don't in any way, okay, just feel sorry for them, because it simply means that's how they feel about Mayegun. But when they begin to make up lies and any other thing, you should just present them with the truth. I knew what happened last night, and I knew what the reactions would be. And that is because Mayegun is self-aware. And being self-aware makes me understand the characters of the people, the character of people I'm talking about. And knowing them one by one simply makes me, in a way, it puts me in control. So I want you, all of you, on Mayegun's Diary Political, I want you to first of all, right, relax your mind. Anything that comes out of Mayegun's mouth, make I no lie you. You can say it is the undiluted truth. Some of them I am holding back. As some Oluwabi, we realize that even though these people who are trying to tarnish the noble cause, the noble movement, educational movement, liberational movement, and a revolutionary one, by the way, which start from you being revolutionized to stand up and be a nationalist yourself, right? So when you see the characters who are trying to denigrate that, it is ideal to please, let's put the truth where it is. We are not hooligans. We are not thugs. We are not jobless miscreants. We are not thoughtless idiots. Are you with me? We are not, tribal, ethnic bigots. We are not religious, fanatics. We are not any of these. We are Yoruba, and we are not a terrorist. Listen, all these people, all this trade by barter, jeun, that are now going to probably, how should I say, they will be in pain between now and that 31st of December. So you, as a member of Mayegun's Diary Political, I want you to sit back, relax, and know that I am holding the reign of the conversation. Apart from them going personal, abusing me, well, the rest of that, that's the only thing they will say to you. But when it comes to the facts, the truth, the one that controls the whole thing, I am holding the reign. I am just being careful so that in the process, I don't get you riled up too much. But I'm going to make you uncomfortable. Truth will make you uncomfortable. Truth makes me uncomfortable myself. And that is why, to become comfortable, I have to say it. They are dropping, just after last night, they told me. 1 second. It will like say they won't listen. Just 1 second though. Yoruba ni mi ò mọ ẹni tó ń bá wí o. But language tó lò yẹn kò wà allowed lórí Mayegun's Diary. Tó bá jẹ́ èmi ló pè ní olórí burúkú nítorí àwọn nǹkan tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́, mi ò rò pé a máa jẹ́ kí o continue pẹ̀lú wa bẹ́yẹn o. Mi ò sọ pé kí ni máa sí, mo ti sọ tèmi o. You have the right to be angry. You have the right to do this or that. Sometimes the truth will make you uncomfortable. I agree. But if you call me olórí burúkú, simply because of the Baba Adura and the Ya Adura, Iya Emi, and the rest of those who you call leaders, I don't think you want to stay with us. Sure, you get. So that is a language you shouldn't use, okay? You can disagree with me. You can see that I haven't used any foul language on any of your supposed leaders, because the intention is not really to start any kind of face-off, okay? But it's going to pain you. It's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to make you, Mayegun, I mean, why are you, all that stuff? The only thing that we are going to damage and destroy is the chalice of lies, that the castle of lie that some of these morons have built for themselves. But here is something. Immediately after last night, are you with me? After last night, the people you call your leaders and the rest, they got the message, and they know I am saying the truth. But some of you who are just ordinary street urchins, jobless miscreants on social media, some of you are ascribing importance to yourself. Good enough. You could use the Yoruba name to do all of that. Okay. You have no idea. Okay. And I understand that some of you have no idea how terrible they have they have mismanaged this important movement in a way. And as Yoruba, we won't let you rubbish it totally. We hope you will change, by the way. Okay. So after last night, right? Baba Akintoye called Igboho. Guess what? They were accusing Igboho of maybe Igboho was the one that reported them to me. And that Igboho was the one that told me to come and tell you what I shared. So they now called Igboho to please talk to Mayegun. Now, listen. I understand why they will say they should talk to Mayegun, because there are some certain things that are going to really show to all of you, right? That indeed they started well. Oh. They started well, and they were going well until some of these miscreants on social media said they are going too slow. They wanted action. Now, action or no action, that is what led them to where they are today. Do you understand? But again, when I say something, there are some things that I will say, I am not saying them because I just want you to hear them. I am sending a message to those who are concerned. And when I mention names, it's because I am not making things up. Okay? So Igboho called me this afternoon, and I told him point blank, listen, we've had chat many times. He said yes. I said, my priority from the word go is to ask you, what exactly is the plan after this whole attack on you, after this killing in the, what exactly is the plan for you and for your loved ones to start with? He had no answer because there was no plan. Everybody is on social media talking Igboho this, Igboho that. They were using Igboho's name, Igboho's picture, right? Remember when they locked Igboho up in Benin Republic, right? Majority of them disappeared. Some of them automatically suddenly turned to Pro-Tifnumbu and the rest. You know the story, you know them. So immediately Igboho got released. Then they opened shops again. But here is the damages I've been telling all of you. Igboho is being held in Benin Republic. It couldn't go anywhere. And nobody is telling you why. Nobody is explaining why and what is being done, right? Rather, they were printing posters. Okay? They are printing posters on social media, right? And they were making different useless, threats, making different threats. Now, they didn't know the damages that is causing. They have no idea because Odun Adeniyi, Aroniyi. You create the problem. And then the people with the two legs, there will be those who have to figure out how to get out of the mess and the rest, and you disappear again. Now, to some of you who don't have, who probably didn't know why, I had to quickly call the attention of all of you who are believing some of these lies being perpetrated by these wearies. So that's why I said they can abuse me. Let them abuse me. But fact is facts, and lies are lies. You can make up anything. Sure, you get. There's no plan for him, including the. Can you believe that on this platform we said we will put together a legal team that will go and get the bodies of Adogon and Alhaji Fatai that they killed inside the Igboho's house? How many of you care about them anymore? How many of you even remember their family anymore? But they are printing Igboho's poster, creating another havoc. Igboho is coming to lead them to declare Yoruba nation. Igboho is going to this. Igboho is telling them to go and open border. And these are the faceless rogues that have become nuisance on social media in the name of Yoruba nation. We said we wanted to get the two bodies of the people killed inside the Igboho's house. How would DSS kill them and take their bodies away? And nothing is being done. You remember that a month ago, we said we would work on that, didn't we? Shall we not talk? Some of you are now asking me, why you going, how come, how far? What happened to you told us that we are going to. What happened? I'm going to tell you tonight what happened. And to this day, their bodies are still there in the hands of the DSS. That's not the only problem. Their wives have been abandoned to the point that the responsibility of their family is now becoming the responsibility of the same Igboho whose businesses, whose properties, whose everything have completely been what? Destroyed. Yet they were still working, helping him to sell his properties, taking money from him, to go and give to other people. All of these things are the damages I am talking about. But they don't care. One of them said that Mayegun is talking because they are no longer giving him money. People are just dumb. You're just dumb. Like, I wouldn't know. The money is the smallest thing. That is what is worrying some of them. And that is why they have lost all the track to this day. I spoke to Igboho today, and I can tell you this free of charge. Èpè ní ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe tó ń pariwo agitation this or that yẹn, àwọn tí wọ́n ń fi orúkọ Ìgbòho ṣe oríṣiríṣi lórí social media. And I told him today, listen to me. Atotileto ni mi, I am Mayegun general. Atolórúkọ jẹ́ ni mi. I built everything from the scratch. And that is why I can beat my chest anytime. Somebody said that àyà olódodo ó máa ń le bí irin ni. Olódodo ni Mayegun. And mi ò ń ṣàgàbàgebè, mi ò ń ṣe báyìí. Before kẹ́ tó sọ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá di ilẹ̀ ibi tí ẹ ti máa pààyàn. Àwa á rí wípé wọ́n ṣàyìn ní ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. I told Igboho today, and he agreed. And I told him, listen, Baba, if you are not with them, asking them to go and we are going to go and open the border. You go to the border. Abi, you record yourselves. When you are done, you go back to your house and sleep. Does that then give you the control of the border? Does that then make that you are doing something that is helping Yoruba nation? Thuggery, criminality. Really? I told him, Igboho, you will have to come to Mayegun's diary political this week. And that's the only thing that I believe that will make us probably have a clearer picture that somehow, indeed, they have not really dragged you into all of this as well. Because we feel so sorry for you that these fraudulent criminals, these people who actually have no care, they don't care about anything Yoruba nation for real. They just want something that is going to be like, oh, yes, tomorrow we are going to do mega rally. To next tomorrow, we are going to do this or that. Then they have something to just say, okay, no, maybe not just that. Okay, okay, you know what? We are going to do this or that. Igboho is going to be this or that. One creates more problems and more problems and more problems. But they are not sharing that. I'll go make another tea. So if they are abusing me, let them abuse me. But we'll tell them the truth. Why? things that we know. Now, things we all know about the Nigerian criminal politicians gave me my name. The things I know about them that I share with you. That's what gave me my name. That's what gave me my platform. That's what gave me the voice. That is what made this microphone powerful. It's not because of some sudden, what do you call Yoruba national agitation or what have you. There are people who genuinely want Yoruba land to be safe, prosperous. And they will do anything to make sure that happens. So if we have some low lives who have turned this to their business, I think the best thing is to tell them the truth about the fraud. There are some of, if you are lying for too long, as you get to some point, you're going to begin to believe your own lies. And I've told you this before. If you are somebody who prefer to hide the truth or pretend about it or trying to disguise the truth, you may say you like me, I will advise you to reconsider. Do you really, really want to like Mayegun? Because I am not that person. And you can call me anything you want to call me. Or you will still put out the facts. And then let the public decide. Let me go make another tea. And don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a minute.